Hey guys, how's it going? We're working on my Range Rover today. It needed new front brakes, so the front rotors were pretty warped. I don't know if the pads are even worn yet. There's no warning on the dash yet for the pad wear, but I could feel the rotors being pretty warped under braking. So I figured, why not, while I'm replacing the brakes, might as well upgrade the fronts. Since my Range Rover is the diesel one, it came with just 2-piston front brakes, and I was cruising eBay the other day and I came across some new 6-piston calipers and did some research, and it turns out that they bolt right up in the same place that the 2 pistons were, and all I needed was larger rotors and different pads. Well, since I was already doing a rotor replacement, I figured, hey, why not? So here's what we've got here. So look at those giant new calipers. These are actual Brembo Land Rover stamped calipers. So these are used, obviously. They're probably off a maybe a sport or a supercharged model, full size. And so I've got a new set of rotors there, and then we've got a set of pads. And then these didn't come with the pins or anything, but I was able to pick up a new hardware kit for about 25 bucks, so that's not too big of a concern. So let's get the front wheels off, and we'll take the brake system apart and put these ones back on. I think the hardest part about this whole thing is going to be bleeding the brake system. I'll have to use my scan tool to bleed the ABS, from what I understand, but shouldn't be too big of a deal. So anyway, let's get going on it. So I've got the old caliper off, got the rotor off. It was a little rusted on there. I had to hammer it a couple times to get it off. So this is what you end up with. You get these 21mm bolts, and then there's this heat shield. I haven't seen anybody mention whether or not you put this back on, so I'll try it and see if it fits with the new caliper. If it does, I'll put it on. Can't hurt anything. So I took some Scotch-Brite, tried to clean up a little bit of that rust. I'm going to put some anti-seize on, and then I'll put the new rotor on, and we'll keep going. We'll put the caliper on and get the new pads in there, and it should be good to go. So let's keep moving. Alright, so that's that. We've got the old caliper off, got the brake line off, the old one, put it on the new one. Everything's back together. So we'll go do the other side, and then we'll go ahead and bleed them. So that's the old caliper there. The pads had a little bit of life left still, but whatever. And I couldn't make this little bracket fit, this little heat shield, so I left it off. So that's that. Next we'll do the other side and then we'll bleed them. So it's the brakes are all done. I had to run out to the store. I ran out of brake fluid, so I had to go get another liter of .4. It took me a while to bleed the brakes to get all the air out of them. I went through the bleed procedure, and it pretty much all it does is just runs the ABS pump as you're bleeding the brakes, and that way it gets all the air out of the ABS system. So anyway, I just took it around the block. It's kind of just sitting outside now. It's dark, but you can it's pretty hard to see. You can barely see the calipers in the wheel there, which is I kind of like it. I didn't want it to be too showy and obvious. I haven't painted the rears yet. I'll probably do that when I swap my wheels over to my winter wheels. I'll paint the rears, and that way at least they'll match. But I took it around the block, kind of bedded in the pads a bit, warmed it up, and works fine, stops just fine. No more vibration with the new rotors, so I'm happy with that. And overall, it was a good mod. So in the future, if you guys are in the same position, it's actually not too expensive. I mean, I picked up the calipers for 400 bucks, so that's pretty much my only expense on top of replacing the front brakes. As far as the cost of the pads and rotors, they're pretty much the same price between the larger ones and the smaller ones. So if anybody, like I say, if you have the smaller calipers, try to find a set on eBay or whatever, Craigslist in your area, because they're not very expensive. I even looked them up brand new from Land Rover, and they're about, I think they were 700 bucks a side, so which is not bad at all for brand new Brembo calipers. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Like and subscribe, and I'll have more videos coming. Thanks.